If you are wondering if we have AI features on Google Pixel 10, then the answer is yes. In fact, we have quite a bit of different AI tools that can be used for various different things. There's probably so much of them that I will miss some of them, but let me try to show you one of the most important ones, or maybe the ones that are the most popular ones. So the first thing that I want to show you is actually in camera. Over here in camera, we can find camera coach, which can help you take a great photo. Now in this case, I don't have any suggestions, but maybe I can use my toy car in order to try to get some examples. So over here, as you can see, we can get the shot of my toy over here, but I can open the coach and I can get some suggestions from the coach. As you can see, we can choose whatever we want to capture using our camera, and we actually have step-by-step tutorial over here that will help us capture a great photo. And let's actually go back over here. Let's try to choose something different. Of course, if you want to choose something else, you should be able to find. You can also press get inspired if you want to. You can rescan in case you want to find some other inspiration. So if you want to, for example, take a great photo of your animal, or if you have a pretty good looking building when you are like sightseeing or something, this camera coach can help you capture really good photos, and they will give you pretty much a guide, step-by-step guide how to do so. In case it is not activated, you cannot use the camera coach. You want to go to the camera settings, and over here we have this camera coach. Besides that, we have guided frame, which is technically well, maybe not usable by people with impaired vision. It can technically be used by everyone, but this feature also uses some AI tools that allow you to be informed about everything that we have presented in the preview. So over here we can press the tutorial in order to also find out more about it. So over here we can find a description that the frame photos with audio hand. We can frame photos with audio hints, vibrations, visuals, and descriptions. And guided frame can be helpful for people with blindness or low vision. But of course, if you want to, you can just still use it in case you need to, even if you are not visually impaired or something. And we also have the auto best take option, which is also found in camera settings. In order to use it, we need to use Top Shot, but we can automatically choose the best expressions from photos taken around the same time. So you can capture multiple photos at the same time, and then we can simply get the best one. Maybe even the phone can mix two photos together so that you actually can make a photo where everyone looks good. Now, besides that, we have the Add Me camera mode, which was present also on, for example, Google Pixel 9. It is also available over here. Essentially, you can take a group photo with the photographer of the group. And how to do that? Well, first you need to, as a photographer, for example, you can take the photo of the group of people, but you, of course, have to keep in mind that there should be a space left for yourself. Once you take the photo, then everyone can simply get out of the spot, and you can position yourself in that space that was empty before, and someone can take a photo of you, and then you can be added into the rest of the group. So everyone can be included on the photo, including the photographer, the initial photographer. All right, so now once we have camera covered, we also have different apps, for example, that can be used that are also considered as AI tools. For example, of course, we have Gemini, which is nothing really unusual, but we have this assistant that can be used in order to, for example, talk to them, to ask them something, to let them help you search for something on the internet by using Google, of course. We can also share our screen with a live Gemini chat, and we can also talk to the Gemini. If we go to the Gemini app over here, we can tap on this button in order to simply talk live with the Gemini, so you can have a little conversation with them. You can also open the camera over here in order to, for example, like if you see something in real life that you don't know what that is, for example, you can simply enable the camera for Gemini point the camera at that subject, and Gemini can try to help you explain what that thing is, or who that person is, for example. Like this, of course, can be considered as well. Now, besides that, we have a circle to search, which can be activated by pressing and holding the navigation bar at the bottom of the screen, or by pressing and holding the home button if you use 3 buttons for navigation. Now you can circle or tap anywhere in order to try to get some information about the selected thing in Google search. And you can, of course, move around, you can extend this section, and so on and so forth. You can also just tap anywhere in order to, for example, get the text or something. But besides that, we can even use the music recognition feature. So over here we have this option that allows us to play, sing, or hum a song in order to try to get the song title. And besides that, what you can also use is you can use this screen translator. So if you have like a page opened on your phone that is written in a foreign language, then you can switch, well, not switch, you can translate the screen temporarily to find out what it is being said. So this is a pretty cool feature that can be used pretty much on a daily basis. Besides that, we also have a Notebook LM app, which can be used in order to, for example, create some sort of like summaries, etc. We can upload PDF files, we can use a website, we can even use a YouTube video or use a copied text in order to add the source, and then we can get some information based on that source. Over here I have a simple sentence that I used, and as you can see, I have a summary of that text that I used. Over here we can go to sources. Here we have the source guide, so this is the original text that I used. And if I switch to chat over here, I have this generated description of the pretty much of the whole text that I copied before. And of course, we also have a studio where we can even generate something. So let's actually take a look in order to see what we can generate with this tool, with this app, I mean. And before it is generated, we can also enable an audio overview. We can ask the app to, for example, explain us to something. So if you have like a really long document in PDF file, then you can upload it to the Notebook LM app. Then you can chat with the app in order to try to get some information that you can't be bothered, for example, to look for in the document itself. So pretty cool stuff. All right, it has been generated, so let's play and let's see what we got. All right, so we have some sort of audio that is being played. It actually has 9 minutes in total, which is crazy. I just used like 2 short sentences and it generated 9 minutes of some content that we can play. It is apparently also interactive, so maybe we can be like questioned about this thing or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, pretty good stuff that can be used for summaries, to go through various documents, to go through long videos, for example, to go through websites in order to try to get some information out of them. The keyboard itself also has a bit of tools. We have writing tools over here. So you can tap on this pen with the star and 2 dots. This allows you to use writing tools. In my case, I didn't write anything. So let's see if I can get my text. All right, so I actually used the Messages app for this, but it shouldn't matter. So over here, we can go to writing tools in order to find, for example, the option that allows us to rephrase our text to make it sound more professional or more friendly, and so on and so forth. We even have Emojify, which allows us to add some emojis to the text. Now, in case we cannot find this option over here on the keyboard, we can tap on these 4 dots in order to find it here in this spot. Besides that, we can go to the settings of our keyboard. And over here, we should be able to go to corrections and suggestions. And we have this option, edit text with AI, which is under the writing tool. So I assume that this option should be enabled to be able to use those writing tools. If you open settings on your phone and proceed to, for example, wallpaper and style, and then we can scroll down to more lock screen settings, then over here, we should be able to find Now Playing, which is a feature that can be used in the lock screen. When this option is enabled, our phone can listen to the background music And if it's recognizable, then we can get the song title over here. Now we can also open a history over here in case you, for example, want to get something, if you missed it. But let me quickly show you how it looks like in the lock screen. There we go, this is the icon that may appear. This is the now playing. We can tap on it in order to try to get a song that is being played somewhere in the background. So definitely cool stuff that can be used in order to find a song title. But besides that, of course, we also have a similar stuff with circle to search that I had shown you already, which is this one over here. So if the now playing doesn't work well, you can use circle to search instead. Now let's move to photos over here. Actually, no, scratch that. Let's go back to settings because there's one more thing that I just remember. So over here, let's go back to wallpaper and style, and we can find some AI tools over here when we go to more wallpapers. More precisely, we can generate a wallpaper with AI, and we can also apply a live effect to a photo, which based on a photo from our gallery can be used in order to, for example, generate some sort of animation, which we can go over here to cinematic, and then we can add this 3D motion. I'm not sure if that's really AI, but I think we can include it as an AI tool. All right, now let's go to photos. And over here, we can find a bunch of different tools as well when editing a photo, or maybe even a video. Over here, if we go to edit, we even have AI enhance. So we can use AI in order to enhance our photo, to try to make it look a little bit better, to improve it. There we go, we have our results. So we can, for example, crop our photos, we can resize them, etc. But I think one of the best parts of editing photos is the option that allows us to select a subject and then do something with it. So for example, I can tap on this car toy that I have over here. We have portrait blur, erase, move, and reimagine. So for example, I can change that thing that I have selected, and I can write a prompt that will replace that subject with something else based on the prompt that I will provide. So over here we can write reimagine as something else. So let's say I'm gonna write a blue car, for example, and let's give it a couple of seconds. And there we go. The result is pretty similar to the car that I use, for example, this one over here. Of course, we can even erase that subject. We have the magic eraser, so we can if you want to get rid of something from a photo, then we can easily do that as well. And there we go, this is how it looks like. Pretty clean, and there is pretty much nothing left after that car. Now something that I think is quite hidden in the phone. So if we go to a recorder, if you have a voice recording, you can actually generate a little transcript over here. We can even generate a summary. Over here we have the summarize option. In this case, the transcript is unfortunately too short. If there are multiple speakers, then that they can be detected and the speech can be separated. But what I think is pretty interesting is that if we tap on these three dots in the upper right corner, we can even generate music. So we can add a background music with AI for our recordings. Of course, we can find transcriptions again, and the transcribe option. We can edit speaker labels if you want to, or you can search transcript as well. So definitely worth checking out. You might get some cool stuff out of it. And last but not least, if we go to the phone app and proceed to phone settings, over here you should be able to find voice translate. You can actually use this feature to talk to someone even if they don't speak your language. More precisely, the phone will take your voice, and whatever you say in the real time, it will be translated for that other person, and the phone will even use your voice for that. So you will sound in the other language just like you sound in your language that you use. So for example, if you have a person that is speaking, let's say, German, you speak English, you can call them. Whatever they say, it will be translated to English so that you can understand it, and the phone will actually use their voice as well, apparently. And whatever you say in English, it will be translated for the other person to German, and they will hear you in German. They will hear your voice. So pretty scary, but pretty cool feature as well. Now, let me show you how to find this feature during the call. There we go. You should be able to find the call assist option. So we can tap over here in order to find voice translate. We can choose the language that the other person is speaking, and then you can press done. Of course, they will get the information that you are using a voice translate feature. So of course, they will know that your voice is being used for translation. And that's pretty much it. Now, of course, besides that, we also have live capture, which is a pretty standard feature as well. So we can, for example, use volume buttons in order to go to this panel. And over here, we have quick access to live caption, which can be used even for calls in order to generate a transcription of the call. But that is pretty much everything. Like I said, I probably missed something. I tried to take notes of everything that we have over here. Some things probably are hidden somewhere on our phone, or there might be something that I didn't specifically consider as AI. So it might be just my bad. If there is something that you think should be mentioned in this video, then let me know in the comments. Share it in the comments so that other people can, of course, know about these other AI features as well. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe.